This week we're going to start talking about how chapters fit together in story structure. So once your slide deck is open, this is what it's going to look like. So our objective is we're going to explain how chapters fit together to provide story structure. So the first several slides are a bunch of examples. You already know how to identify the structure of a paragraph. Jill began to write about the best summer vacation she had ever had. This was the first time she had been water skiing. The first time the boat pulled her up on her skis, she fell. It was really hard to hang on at first. However, after several tries, she was able to ski and enjoy it. From here on out, Jill hopes to go water skiing every summer. So we could see here that in this paragraph, there's in an indentation, there are multiple sentences, and we have a main idea. So we're going to get into different chapters. So when long stories are broken up into chapters, and chapters have paragraph. Chapter 1. Sam was talking to his grandma one evening at the park. He told his grandma that he loved to live in the big city. However, he wanted to see where his grandma was from and meet his childhood family. Grandpa thought about this intently. The only way for me to really show you would to be for us to create a time machine. It would take us back to my small childhood home in Arkansas. Sam said, "Let's do it." Chapter 2. The next morning, they met in Grandpa's garage. They began putting the time machine together piece by piece. They painted it red, jumped inside. Grandpa said, "Are you ready to see a whole new world?" Grandpa began to set the pressure gauges and speed data. The time machine began to push into the air with great speed. Then Sam could feel the time machine lowering, and suddenly it landed with a thud. Grandpa and Sam slowly opened the time machine door. They saw a dusty farm stretched for miles around. Sam yelled, "Where are all the buildings?" Suddenly, a group of people ran toward them. It was Grandpa's mom and dad and brothers and sisters. Sam couldn't believe it. Grandpa and Sam spent the week visiting with the family, and it was a trip Sam would never forget. Okay, so we have our rising action to climax to conclusion. So first, Sam tells his grandpa he would like to meet his childhood home and family. Sam and Grandpa begin to build a time machine. The major event in the story, right? The climax is the part of the story where the tension or the action reaches its highest point. Sam and Grandpa fly back in a time machine. Then, as we start reaching down towards the conclusion, Sam and Grandpa land on his childhood farm, and Sam meets his grandpa's family. So as we could see here in chapter 1, Sam tells their grandpa he wants to see his childhood home and family. Grandpa suggests building a time machine. Chapter 2, Sam and Grandpa build the time machine and set off into time. And in Chapter 3, Sam and Grandpa land at Grandpa's farm and meet his childhood family. So each chapter introduces some more new information. First, it was suggesting that we want to meet the family. So they begin to build the time machine. Then they actually go and experience meeting Grandpa's family and meeting his childhood farm and family. So, a new chapter can introduce new time, day, or time period. So, we learned that in chapter 1, Sam talks to Grandpa in the evening at the park. In chapter 2, Sam and Grandpa build the time machine the next morning. And in chapter 3, Sam and Grandpa arrive in a new time period that was from long ago. A new chapter can introduce a new setting or characters also. In chapter 1, they were at the park. In chapter 2, they were now working in the garage on the time machine. And in chapter 3, they were at the farm meeting the new family. A chapter can end at a place of suspense. So we learned in chapter 2 they were going to build this time machine and then fly through time. So it says Sam and Grandpa are flying in the time machine and land with a thud. What happens next? In chapter 3, Sam and Grandpa crack open the time machine and see Grandpa's childhood family and friends. All right, so the importance of this is to remember you're going to explain how chapters fit together to provide the structure. And then the following slides, you are going to have another example, and then you are going to complete slides 14, 15, and 16.